There you go. Whenever you're in public, this song should just be playing right there, right next to you. Like, have respect.
I like that. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. That was super intense.
I just wanted to just like light up the environment to make it so intense on purpose. And how are you?
I'm great. How are y'all doing today?
Oh, great. Just lovely. I was just sharing an embarrassing story. I rolled on my ankle yesterday. It was awful. I fell in front of thousands of people. It was incredible.
Oh my God. Are
Yeah.
you okay?
Well, I mean, I got my ankles as swollen as my thigh. So it just looks nasty. It looks like I got bit by a mutant. But it's all right. It's it's okay. We'll survive. We're here. I wouldn't stop anything from me being here to have this conversation with
Well, I
you.
appreciate you having me on. I love the format. I don't think anybody really has this format in TikTok Live, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something different, and try to pick the brains of other creators and try to have a conversation because obviously you have an effect on people and people are chammering and talking about what you're talking about. So I want to hone in on some specific things, but before we get there, and what got you into the realm of social media and particularly to TikTok?
So a lot of people don't know that I went to broadcasting school before, like, during, it was probably in 2016 or 2017. And I was kind of knocked down a peg because when they found out that I was a conservative gay man, the broadcasting school
Go
was like,
figure.
you're never gonna make it. Like, you're never gonna have doors open for you. Like, you need to take down this guard. So I was like, okay. Then when the pandemic happened and this whole TikTok thing was blowing up or whatever, I downloaded the app and I actually started off by doing funny things. And then I had all of a sudden gotten to this algorithm of conservative TikTokers. And I was like,
Okay.
wait, what? And so I did my first video on COVID lockdowns and it went completely crazy, like it went viral. And yeah, so here we are today. I just brought my broadcasting spark back and I just continued and then I became way more passionate about politics than I ever had been before.
Yeah, and when you wanted to do broadcasting, did you wanted to get in the realm of broadcasting news or just broadcasting in general?
Yeah, no, I legitimately wanted to be an anchor, field reporter.
Wow.
I wanted to write out segments. Like, I wanted to do all the things. I'm not an editor. I don't do the editing things, but like I wanted to be the face of certain shows
Yeah.
because I was passionate about it. Like, I wanted to cover stories. I wanted to write about it. And if anybody knows how much it costs to go to journalism school, like, it's super expensive. So that was
Oh yeah.
another piece missing because I'm like, I'm already in my 30s. I don't have like, I'm not going to journalism school at this point. So I think that we're in like a perfect era because people don't really trust journalists anymore. They don't trust the media. So they rely on you. They rely on me. They rely on other awesome content creators because you bring a different piece to the journalism. Like, we're self-made journalists at this point.
Right. There's a huge responsibility associated with what we're doing too, so that we're sharing information on our perspective, but also we want to give the whole perspective as much as we can. That's what we're battling every day. I noticed there was a period of time because the first video I've seen of you months and months ago, as was you were hooting and hollering over this. Let's talk to the kids. And I remember when I saw that image of you, you went right into the room and you said, as if you were like you were talking to your kids. You were like, "Let's go, let's go."
Yeah.
That was the first visual I had of you, and I immediately I said, "Yep, this is incredible. What's going on here?" So I noticed there was a time that you were away. What happened during that time?
Yeah, so I look, I when TikTok started doing its thing and like
Mm-hmm.
people and stuff, I had somebody who was like a really great mentor to me, that has been on social media for over 10, 15 years. he said, you know, you really have to spread yourself over all the platforms, like pretend like TikTok doesn't exist, because it's one of those platforms that it's more censored than censored. Like, it is probably one of the worst censor apps out there, but it's also a good app. So I went over to Instagram and I started to notice that the content creators on Instagram were completely different than TikTok. So I got banned on TikTok. I said, you know what? I'm going to stay away for a minute. There was a lot of other drama going on that, like, I really don't care about what the drama, like, I care about the United States and the world crashing and burning. So, like, the other stuff to me doesn't matter. So I'm like, I'm just stay on Instagram for a little while, and I really built up that platform. And then I met some great content creators from Instagram. And by the way, Instagrammers do not even know TikTokers. Lucky that I was able to kind of come over and like integrate with those content creators and kind of explain to them how TikTok works, because they were confused. And then I met a whole new world of people and a whole new world of, you know, making videos and content and stuff. And then over that 6 months, I had so many of, you know, our TikTok family was like, dude, I know you don't want to go back, but people, like, they love your voice, they love your comedy, like, please come back. And I said, you know, I woke up one day and I'm like, it's kind of, I'm kind of not doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, my voice should spread. So by me not being on TikTok, it's kind of making TikTok win, and then it's taking away from people who are only on TikTok. So I decided to come back.
Yeah.
Because my voice matters, your voice matters, everyone in the chat's voice matters. So I was like, I'm going back, and I came back, and it's been great. I mean, yes, I get banned, but I have a backup, and I have a backup to
you need that. That's become the culture here on TikTok. Having a backup.
Backup, but I do have backups to the backup. So trust me, I won't go anywhere this time, but yeah.
And TikTok is a better place with you in it. That's for sure, because I see you're talking about issues, you're tackling them immediately, and its virability is incredible. That's why I look at your videos, I analyze them, and I learn from them as well on how to broadcast and how to pitch some of my videos too as well. Short, simple, make sure you connect with the public in a way that they understand. And I think you have that ability and gift in you. So I want to ask one more broad question, then I want to narrow in on some of these topics here. I noticed that you were in Michigan and that you were speaking on behalf of someone. What was that about?
So Michigan held their primaries, and they were trying to get rid of Gretchen Whitmer. And Ryan Kelly was a grassroots guy that was running for the gubernatorial race. And something that I love to do is, if there's a grassroots person that wants to take over a school board, wants to take over and do a gubernatorial race or any type of role, and they reach out to me like, hey, will you speak for us at this event? I'm 100% in. And so when Ryan approached me on it, I was like, dude, I back you 100%. Like, and here's the thing is, like, people think that, like, I make all this money doing it. I do not charge these candidates to have me have to take care of my airfare. Like, I figured it out from there, because I truly do want the right people to be in these seats. I truly do want people like us to have a voice and change our government for the better. So I did that one. I'm going to Illinois, and I'm backing Darren Bailey. And again, I'm doing it for free, but they're helping me get out there at least. But yeah, I don't make, like, you know, people have this idea of like content. Oh, they make so much, but no, we don't. I'm literally doing this because of my voice, and I do want to make it. And what we're going to talk about next is, like, I want to make I don't have kids, but I want to make a change for your kids. Like, I truly believe in that.
Yeah. There's some interesting things going on and in the when it relates to children. When this whole thing of, like, there's a actual website called Queer Stuff for Kids. I see you shaking your head already. So what are some of the issues in your mind?
Well, because why? Like, why? You know, look, when I was a little boy, I was more sensitive than other little boys at the time. I didn't play sports. I played with GI Joes, but I also played with Barbies, and I played with all different things. If my parents in that time period had the same ideology as the parents do right now, I might have transitioned. I might have done something extremely drastic that I
Mm.
in my life, because a smart, and look, I took child development and psychology when I was in early days of college and in high school. Like, I worked in a preschool, like all the things. They don't have the mental capacity at that age to understand that. And it's like, of course, if I go up to a little kid and I say, this is my damn it doll, it's Joe Biden, so you can just if I go up to a little kid and I say, here, you're going to like this, this is yours, they're going to love this. They're going to love it. And so
Right.
it is a form of, it's a form of brainwashing.
Mm.
And really, really, really dangerous, because kids don't have that ability to compartmentalize the difference on things. So they
Right.
just think this is okay.
So it's what you're saying is it's hard for them to grasp big adult ideas, right? Understanding sexuality within themselves, understanding sexuality between adults, right? These are big ideas that we're trying to funnel into children. I have a clip here that is pretty disturbing. In my point of view, I want to get your immediate reaction. This is a TED talk by the creator of Queer Stuff for Kids. Here's what she says about the young adolescent brain development, as if we need to learn from her. Check this out.
Let's get this kicked off.
Can you hear it?
It's okay to be gay. We are different in many ways. Doesn't matter if you're a boy in between. We all are part of one big family. Gay means happy. Queer kid stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff.
All right, so this is just her opening song that she has for her show. There's a YouTube channel. She has this opening song for her show. She gets into the discussion about when kids start to realize their own sexuality. But I wanted to get your immediate reaction. I saw you shaking your head there about that song. What is it about that song that bothers you?
Because songs, when you're young, you absorb things like a sponge. I want to say this. There is nothing wrong with certain aspects of introducing children to a gay lifestyle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had recently, one of my favorite shows is Schitt's Creek. Okay. I don't know if anybody's watched Schitt's Creek. At the end of Schitt's Creek, they had this beautiful moment where they talk about how they introduced two men dating. And they didn't specifically say these two guys, like, it was just like a normal situation within the show. And, many young gay, lesbian, trans kids reached out to the show and said, thank you so much for making me see that it's normal. There's a fine line between that, and then there's another line between you just throwing it into people's faces or throwing it into kids' faces. These songs we've been brainwashed by songs our entire life. I can remember songs from when I was a little kid. I mean, it plays in your mind all the time, right? The Reading Rainbow, all of these childhood memories. The problem is they don't really know what they're celebrating or what they're singing. So they're not ready for that just yet. And I go back to a little girl. She's 4 years old, and her parents had her, I don't know if it was a parade, specifically a pride parade or a parade, but they're throwing confetti. She's 4 years old, and they're celebrating the fact that she transitioned. A 4-year-old. So this 4-year-old girl, all she sees is the confetti. Macho, she doesn't understand what she's celebrating. Who did that to her? Her parents did that to her. She didn't wake up at 4 years old and say, I want to transition to another sex. No, She sees confetti, she sees music, she sees balloons, it's glitz.
And everybody's happy, and everyone's happy.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's sick. It's sick.
Now, to play devil's advocate here, Dan, we've seen this in Disney as in our childhood, where the princess falls in love with the prince, or vice versa. Could that be? This is what they're pushing back on. They're saying we've seen this in Disney for decades. What's different and unique about this?
Well, that's so to go. You're right. So to go back to like Schitt's Creek, why is it not a problem with that? Why is it a problem with this? Schitt's Creek is an adult show, so teenager and up, right? So
yeah,
shows like that where they're introducing same-sex couples, and I think that there's even a show on Netflix. I can't remember the guy's name, Doogie Howser. If anybody's in my generation,
oh yeah, I forgot his name too.
Yes. So anyway, it's called like Unpartnered or something like that, where him and his husband break up, whatever. I think it's it was a great setup. It's a great show. There's no woke ideology. There's no politics in it. Nothing like that. Now, as children, as kids, as a parent chooses how they're going to talk to their kids about certain situations, which is why my husband and I have 13 years. We are not big PDA people. We don't think it's appropriate for us to hold hands and kiss in public, not because we're not proud of being together, but it's like, what if there's a 5-year-old kid that's there and the parent hasn't had that discussion with their kid yet? Now they're seeing this, and now today on a Tuesday at the grocery store, they have to explain to their kid why there's two guys making out. This has the same effect when they're watching cartoons. Of course, it's okay for people to be in same-sex relationships. That's not what we're saying. But it is normal to be a man and a woman. That is how we were designed. Otherwise, none of us would be here. So to assume that you are going to be with the opposite sex one day when you grow up is okay. That's correct, in my opinion.
Well, instead of saying normal, we can say common, right? Because normal would insinuate what you're in a relationship is abnormal, right? So you being with your husband is abnormal. And that's what I think the LGBT community is trying to shy away from, that language, right? They're saying, okay, what are we, not normal? Are we not, they're seeking validation, and it's stretching so much now, right?
But Macho, they've gotten that. We've gotten that validate. Like, we're able to marry. We're able to have kids. Like, all the things. Like, our elder gay and lesbian friends, they did all of this legwork to get us to where we're at today. But now with the extreme ideology, and again, people are saying normalize it. I agree. Look, obviously, my partner and I, like, when we're in a room and he comes in and he comes home from work, yeah, we kiss on the lip, like we pack like normal. Nobody makes a big deal about it. We're not like over-sexualizing each other, though. Just like straight couples, like, I really don't want to see a man and a woman in an elevator.
Yeah, me neither.
Around a kid, right? It's the same thing. But we've done all of this work, and now what it's doing is it's kind of tracking us back a little bit because of these extreme woke ideology of, you have maps up here. Wow.
Yeah.
The fact that we can have a conversation about that. Gender affirmation, non-binary, queer stuff for kids. Like, just let kids be kids, and I promise you it'll work itself out. Now, if parents, sorry, I'm talking a lot.
Go for it.
Want to take the extra step to educate themselves to be ready one day when they get those questions, that's 100% fine. I agree with that. Absolutely be prepared when your kid one day says, hey, mom, hey, dad, I think I may be gay. Okay, let's have that conversation. But for you to go into that, interject yourself into the growth process of the mind to make them be confused right out the gate, that is wrong. And that's why we're going to start holding parents accountable.
And as we should. I think this is a really grown-up concept. I mean, sexuality in and of itself, right? When I've even seen it firsthand, asking dad, hey, where do babies come from, as a child, right? That's a grown-up concept. That's something that you're like, you have to exercise wisdom in this conversation, because if you start now divulging all this information, well, now you're making the child an adult very quickly. Is that a fair assessment?
100%. And I'm just in the comments. We don't have any kids. We wish we could. We would love to adopt children. I think one of the biggest problems in the United States is that we don't have a great adoption process. They make it extremely impossible and extremely expensive for the middle American family to be able to save and adopt children. With that being said, if Jimmy and I were to have kids, we would put them with the assumption that they would be raised, they would grow up to be straight. Here's why. Nobody taught me that I wanted or was going to be gay. My parents are straight. They had 2 boys. They raised us with the assumption that we were going to get married, have kids, do the thing, right? Do the whole thing. We, as dads, would do the same thing. If I had a son, I would raise him with the assumption and kind of the hope, right? Because I want grandkids. Like, I would hope that my son, unless he comes to me and says, hey, why do I have 2 dads? But he'll get to that age. He will get to that age where that will come up in his mind. Why do I have 2 dads? Where's my mom? And then we'll guide those questions when they come. And I'm not saying that it has to be this big secret, but just let it happen like it happens.
So you're saying not to have a preemptive strike, just kind of field it as it comes, right?
100%.
Just
We've been successful for thousands and thousands of years, bro. And we've evolved to this great and beautiful society because of that situation.
Yeah,
now,
and
trying to
and same sex relationship is not a new phenomenon either, right? So it's like
back to, I mean, we went to, the Vatican, we went to Europe, and we did all the things, and like even the Spartans guys used to be together. I mean, it's always been depicted over time. Did we go through a process in the United States where we had to
yes,
civil rights movements and become, yes, absolutely, 100%. I look, love is love, and I love all that. And the time period that I came from, I say that I'm one of the old gays because we came from a time where it was like, yeah, this is great. Like, we're all able to get married. But like the kids for me, and it's inappropriate in a lot of these situations. And it's so sad.
Yeah, and I know you're limited on time, but I got a couple of more questions.
Yeah.
The Intelligencer wrote an article in 2019, When the Ideologues Come for the Kids. In this article, it's very well written, but in this article, it says that basically the members of the community has to speak up against some of this ideology being preached to the kids without the consent of the parents. Do you see why that's a problem? Can you explain to the audience here why that's an issue where the affirmation is happening without the consent of the parent? How important is that?
How important is it to have the consent of the parent?
Yes.
Basically,
Yeah.
question. Yeah. So it's extremely important. Look, I joined a coalition. It's called Gays Against. I can't say the other part. Groomers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They banned that part. And we've all, everybody in the LGBT plus community has started to come forward on a lot of these issues. And we formed this coalition, and it's growing and growing and growing every day because there's so many more LGBT plus people that feel the same way about this. When Florida passed the Don't Say Gay bill, I was sent that video. I was sent that bill right when it dropped. And I'm like, wait a minute, because look, I will protect all gay rights till the end of time. Obviously, hello, I'm with somebody, I'm gay.
Right.
When I read the 7-page bill, it was very easy to read. I read it over and over and over, and I'm trying to find where it said don't say gay. And it didn't say that anywhere. It was a parental bill. And it's not only a parental bill just for gay situations. It was giving parents the right to know what was going on in the classroom rather than the teacher taking it upon themselves to adjust or coerce the kid or like you fill their head with bullshit. And I loved it. I was like, this is great. There's nothing in the bill that says that it's only against gay conversations, gay situations. It's any parent. Macho, if your kid went to the teacher and said, "Tell me how mommy and daddy had me," and you, the teacher, took it upon yourself to teach that kid what it was in a sexual form, and you didn't know about it, you better be damn right that I'm going to go up to that school, girlfriend. That's what they're talking about. Now, if the teacher finds out this information, all the bill states is that they have to come to you and say, "Sir, I just want to let you know your son came to me today, wanted to know where he came from. I said, hey, that's a conversation for you and your parents. I'll make sure your parents."
Absolutely.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with. I don't understand what's wrong with incorporate, and to see the the backlash tells me that the schools have a different agenda. They're trying to steer children away from their parents and that consent and that guidance and that wisdom. And I think that that's where we're kind of losing each other. I have two more questions. Maps.
Yeah.
Why maps? What the heck?
We do not know. And here's another issue as well that goes along with maps. First of all, anybody that approves of maps, you need to be visited by the authorities, okay? Because that means that you're attracted to young people.
Yeah, I don't get it. And why we're making these concessions for these people that should not have these kinds of feelings. They should get help.
100%. And here's what kills me about the gay community. Back in the 70s and 80s, they pegged gay people as sexual predators.
Wow.
We moved past that finally one day, and now you guys come up with maps? Bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So it's a problem, and here's a further problem. Some jagoff in here was like, "Oh, this conversation is pointless." Is it pointless? Think of all the kids who are sexualized, and they no longer will know the difference between being sexually assaulted and abused because they were filled with the ideology of a situation by their parents, by their school officials, by the public, and when they are taken advantage of, they will think that it's normal. That is fucking sick.
It's not a Republican talking point, by the way. I just want to put that out there. This is a real thing. They're actually teaching our children many different things. They're studying this. People are coming forward. School boards are talking about. There are people in schools that are sharing this information to publications. They're saying, "Hey, they're teaching kids how to do weird stuff, what to do with their bodies." Certain conversations that are absolutely inappropriate for the school.
Not a Republican talking point, honey.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right.
No, it's not. Hold on, Burton. It's not, because the coalition that we have has liberal, moderate, independents, and conservatives. So you can go ahead and take several seats, baby. Go ahead.
So now my last one, and I always want to know how we can get better, Ant. How are conservatives shooting themselves in the foot with this discussion?
Because they're making, and some conservatives might get mad at me. Stop making it a religious issue. Stop it. Conservatives have, especially Christian, and most of them are Christians. And I have faith. I was raised Roman Catholic. I'm a Christian. Like, I have faith. Okay. Well, that's good, Burton, that 0 people support that. Make your voice heard and let people know, babe. Because right now, they're making it seem like people do. Christian conservatives need to take it down a notch, because they're losing that moderate person that, I'm Christian now, baby. I was Roman Catholic. They need to take it down a notch, because they're losing the people in the middle that are kind of like, we're on your side, but you guys are a little like, I mean, somebody told me that they love me and they love my content, but I'm a sinner and I should probably marry a woman. So this is where they lose that. They lose that movement. And this is why I understand why a lot of liberals or liberals that are like on the fence, like they're about to come over, and then someone's like, join me at worship and we'll teach you how to love women. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you lost that person. You lost them. Like, take it fucking down 5 notches. You can have faith. Shut up. Just have faith.
Yeah.
Either like
Yeah.
them or don't. But if you don't like them, walk away. If you like them, have conversation with them. Because I know a lot of straight people that do a lot of weird shit in the bedroom. God would
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell him, man. Tell him, man. Well, I've overstepped my time with you, Ant. Thank you so much for giving me this time. I appreciate you. I know you're a busy man. Any last words on the way out?
I love everyone, and I welcome, you know, even the conversation that was going in on here. There was a couple of different liberals and stuff. I love that. Keep having the conversation. And if you are a liberal person and you're like, this isn't happening, by all means, show us how it's not, but do it in a way where you're automatically going to be discredited. So don't be like, you're a retard, you're an idiot, because I get all those, right? I'm a retard, yep. I'm an idiot, I don't know my shit, I'm a fascist, I'm homophobic, I'm racist, trans. Stop using those. We've used those words so much that they're washed out. They don't even mean anything anymore to people. So have constructive conversations with people. And if you know that you're going to be triggered, because I know if I can get triggered, I won't even talk to the person.
Very good. Very good. And to someone to call you a homophobic.
Every day.
Oh my God. My brother, quick story. My brother is same-sex attracted as well, and he was working at a medical facility. He works now for Delta. He's a flight attendant, bougie. He travels the world. Yes, we know. Okay. Anyway, so he was working for this company, and he was talking to a person, asking them specific questions, and it was seen as insensitive and homophobic, right? So they pull him to the back. My brother's not out loud. He doesn't like talking about his life. He's like, listen, you don't need to know about me. Keep it over there, right?
Right.
So they sit him down. They have a conversation with him, and they said, hey, this is homophobic. You cannot, this is not appropriate behavior in this place, right? He says, do you even know who you're talking to? And I was like, I wish you would have sued. You should have sued. Because what the heck? Like, what?
Okay, so people are saying we need coalitions. We do. Gays Against Groomers is actually worldwide now. We are in Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. So if you would like to join, we are looking for chapter members in every single country and every single state. Just reach out to us on Instagram at Gays Against Groomers, and then you can obviously you can follow me, try to message me. I'm Conservative Ant on all platforms. We're looking for chapter members, both straight. You don't have to be gay, by the way. It's just allies, and we have tons. That's why we're being banned, is because they don't like the fact that it's gotten to the UK and it's gotten to Italy,
it's big.
And it's gotten to New Zealand and Australia, and this stuff is going on all over the world. It's not just here. And so we are standing side by side with moms and dads all over the world to make sure that we can protect their kids, even though we might not have kids of our own.
Yes. Well, Ant, thank you so much for being here. Guys, follow Conservative Ant. Thank you so much, Ant. Appreciate you.
Thank
Have
you,
a great day. See you around.